Hello everyone, welcome to Zwolle station in the Netherlands, and right in front of us is one of the two trains we're going to be looking at today, our Sprinter SNG to Groningen, up on the northern side of the Netherlands here. This stunning, oh hello sir, this stunning beautiful modern station, here that is Zwolle, first opened in 1864. It's currently a major rail hub, actually, connecting most of the northern side of this beautiful country of the Netherlands in with... Oh, we're on the rails. That's not a good idea. Yeah, connecting up the northern side of Groningen, Leeuwarden, the whole north side of the country with the rest. Trains here head towards the other side of the country. We could see an intercity there departing. Another one right here going to The Hague. Like I said, a very big hub here for the northern travel. This is our train that we are starting off with. We are starting off with doing the Sprinter journey up north towards Groningen. And then in Groningen we're going to change trains. And then our lovely roster people have got us back on this one, the Koploper, which will drive all the way back to Zwolle. Along the way we're going to have a look at all the local stations, all the line details, all the history, all the drama, the local procedures, and everything, as we have a look at Spoorlijn's Zwolle to Groningen at DLC here for Train Sim World. Let's head on into our beautiful little train. Step up. Hello, hello, hello. We'll close the door. And here we are. Very lovely little modern cockpit of this SNG Sprinter. Let's just claim it for us. Zwolle to Groningen. We are in. Right, we need to start this train up. This is going to be an interesting one because I need to remember how to. So if we have a look here at the switches in the back, we've got quite a lot of different things. We're basically looking for the ATB one. Let's switch on the dead man's switch and our ATB switch. There we go. We will cover the ATB system a little bit later. It's quite unique to the Netherlands. Let's sit in our seat and let's get this train started. First things first, we'll pop the master key in, close the circuit breaker, raise the pantograph, and as we can see we have got electricity to the train. We can have a look at the screen. This should all pop up automatically shortly with our, there we go, with our destination. It will pop up and it will change, puts the reversers into forward. Headlights are normal, wipers aren't necessary at all, and we'll just get the brakes on. We can verify that it's working here. We've got 1500 volts of electricity and the brakes are on ever so slightly. We'll have a little walkthrough of our train. Here is first class, people already getting on. We've opened up the doors, ready for our service to start here in the next few minutes. This is first class. It's a very, very brilliantly designed train, this. Low to the floor, which means easy access from platform level here. Of course it is the Netherlands, so we've got 100 million bins for recycling. Into second class we go, identified by the blue seats, and as we make our way through, the whole train is interconnected, meaning you can easily swap carriages. Got a toilet right here, which I don't think we can enter. No, we can't. Now, fun fact, the first Sprinter trains, the first SNGs, Sprinter new generations, got delivered without toilets, and people complained because people were wetting themselves, and it didn't bode very well here for the floor. The doors are closing by themselves for some reason. Let us just reopen them from here so that people can actually get in, even though they were already in. There we go. We'll hop on through as everybody, excuse me, pardon me, is going into oblivion. We've got these lovely little screens all over the shop. We've got about 90 seconds until we need to go. Next station will be Meppel, and we can see the arrival time is there. It's 13:37. This train is going to call at pretty much all stations up to Groningen, which will be Meppel, Hogeveen, Bijlen, Assen, Groningen Europa Park, and Groningen all the way down, which we should arrive in just over an hour from now. That's pretty much the layout there of the SNG. We can see the other side of the cab is right there. We'll head on out and we'll walk on over to the front of the train. Very beautiful, classic Dutch railway livery on this Sprinter. We'll hop in here, actually. We'll close the door behind us. There we go. Close that door. We'll sit in the seat and we are pretty much ready to go. We'll pop the reverser into forward. And that is it. It's a waiting game now. Waiting for the train to depart. Let's close up the doors. Right doors are locked. There they go. Waiting. There is the departure dispatch light. We are good to go. Let's give a little bit of power. And off we go. Out of Zwolle station. There is the little white light there on the platform as well, stating that it was safe to go. We'll leave here very, very slowly. A 40 km/h limit here on the platform stations as we leave Zwolle station on the way to Meppel, which will be our next stop. Right, we can give a little bit of extra power here as the signal is green. Couldn't quite see around the corner. Wanted to make sure that it was in fact all safe and sound. And as we enter the main line, you will see the ATB system come into play here. The speed limit will go up to 60 km/h, and you will see, there it is. We'll hear the bong. We can see the yellow screen there has moved to the 6th position, which indicates that we can go 60 km/h. And then now that's gone up to 100 here shortly. There it is. Saying 130 is the ATB restriction, 100 is the local restriction, so we will bear that in mind. Now the ATB system, it's quite interesting. We'll come back to that a little bit later on in the video. It's actually a really well designed system. Give the dead man pedal a little press. The Netherlands love safety. All of these trains hyper safe, making sure that everybody is kept alive, kept safe. Now these SNG trains got fantastic acceleration, used for the short sprinter routes in the Netherlands, which means that they are doing the local stopping trains. Got multiple different types of trains in the Netherlands. The railway there is basically categorized very, very well. It's very well done. So like I said, we're in the sprinter train today, which means all stops, calling all stations to Groningen. The other type of trains you got in the Netherlands is the Intercities and the Intercity Direct. We will take the Intercity on the way back to Zwolle. Intercity trains are essentially medium to long distance trains, limited stops, stop at the major sort of train stations along the routes, and they are designed for comfort, mainly comfort and speed, as we leave Zwolle station here. Now these Sprinter trains, of course, very comfortable as well, but very fast on acceleration, especially if they are running late. Sometimes these trains leave these stations at blistering speeds. As the speeds go up to 140, the ATB system, there we go, will give us the green light, and we'll give it 100% power just to get going. We can maintain the schedule. Next type of train that we've got in the Netherlands as well is the Intercity Direct, currently operated by multiple different types of material, and they are the very high speed lines. They run towards the big city areas. Eurostar uses those lines as well. They run from like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and they basically stop nowhere but the central stations, offering a really good hub and a really good opportunity to change trains there at the hub stations without having to stop at loads of different either big cities or even smaller cities like the Sprinters do. With the dead man button a little press, we've got the blue button, not the yellow button, the blue button on our dashboard, which will light up every now and then, which will cover that. Next train that we got as well is the ICMg, which is the next gen Intercities. They run mainly on the high-speed lines. They are meant to be super fast as they phase out the old stock on the Intercity Direct trains and the Intercity International ones that run on there. ICMg does also run on some of the local conventional lines, especially now that they have a few more trains. They work quite well. They're actually really lovely trains, similar to the Sprinter in this design. Very modern, very fast, low floors, loads of seating. It's a very modern train, very nice to be on indeed. And then the last train that they've got in the category for the Dutch railways is the NS International, which, as it states, is an international route operated usually in cooperation with the Belgian railways if you're headed towards Brussels. or with the German ICE trains if you are heading that way. And also Eurostar and Thalys are operated by NS International on those particular routes. We are on our way. Next stop is Meppel. ATB in action there, slowing us down as we've got a 120 kilometer restriction coming up. It will notify you ahead of time, and basically if you apply minimal braking, you can just sort of glide to the good stop. There's an intercity coming around the corner there, double intercity in fact, which is the train we will be taking back. There's the 120 kilometer an hour restriction. Got a signal out slow, so we will start slowing down slowly but surely as we start to approach Meppel station. There we go, it's been accepted by the ATB system there. That was the triple tring. And there we go. When you get the full chime, that means ATB wants you to slow down quicker. You're not slowing down quick enough according to its system. Once again, it's all based around efficiency, trying to make sure that you get down to the correct speed in time. There it is, we can release the brakes now and we can coast in to beautiful Meppel railway station. A Dutch national monument opens on the 1st of October 1867. This is where the line splits. One line goes up to Friesland and up towards Leeuwarden, and then our line continues on the way towards Groningen. The original station building, built in 1867 when it first opened, made by the state railway operator at the time, and then it was completely renovated in 1982. Now, as of 1998, it is a Dutch national monument and a Dutch heritage site here, mainly operated by the NS railway systems. Connections on towards various different bus services, and like I said, the train line does split here, and you can head all the way up towards Friesland if you so need to. One stop here, categorized by the blue diamond on the left hand side, shows you where you need to stop and how many carriages stop there. We'll stop right on the markers, and there it is, Meppel station, everyone. We will open up the doors. This is station Meppel, and with everyone on board, we will close up the doors. We've got our departure dispatch signal, and we are off. Release the brakes, brakes released, and power to this beautiful SNG train. Now, what can I say a little bit more about our Sprinter new generation that we haven't said already? Made in Spain by a company called CAF, first entered Dutch railway service in the year of 2018. And we don't actually make 160 kilometers an hour on the Dutch railways, but it is capable of doing so. Normally seen in a 3 or 4 car single formation. However, during peak hours, they do sometimes double or even triple up the trains. Make sure that more than enough people can stand, sit, and do. Speaking of standing, this train has been designed with passengers in mind, as we saw earlier during our little walkthrough of the cabin. Loads of space to stand, lean, sit, do everything. 2 classes on this train, second and first class as well. And the Dutch Railways have done an excellent job of keeping these trains up to date. LED lighting all around, and you've got digital passenger information, which we saw earlier on the screens, and the voice announcements as well. As you've noticed, this train, lovely, beautiful and quiet. It's very, very nice to commute in. The ATB system gives us permission to go back up to 140 kilometers an hour. So the SNG train replaced the SGM train units, which dated back from the 1970s, and NS has got about 200 plus 206 units from CAF. All in all, a very reliable, very good train for the commuting journeys in this low-lying flat country of the Netherlands. We've left Meppel now. The next stop will be Hogeveen. There goes ATB signalling that we are nearly at Hogeveen railway station. Station opened on the 1st of May i.e. the year of 1870, operated by the Dutch Railways, of course, with the Sprinter services on this line. Not much to say about Hogeveen or its station, really. Been kept up to date quite well. The only sort of thing it really had was that it was shut between the year 1941 and the year of 1987. So for nearly 4 decades it did not have any services run through here at all. We need to really slow down. Here we go. It stops on a dime. It stops really well on a dime, actually. Little bit of an overshoot there. It's absolutely fine. We've got loads of space at this railway station. Just ease off for the brakes here a little bit. There we go. Welcome to Hogeveen Station as we go inside. Very modern, very nice, very kept up to date. Netherlands is famous for all these really, really, really long platforms in and out of these stations. It's very good, very well designed to make sure that basically every single type of train can run here. Running about a minute early according to the schedule, as we are here with our lovely Sprinter. The doors are shutting. We are ready to go off to the next station, waiting for the departure dispatch signal. And there it is. We have the white lights. The signal is green. Off we go. We'll go half power to start with. ATB instead, you are more than happy to go straight up to 140 kilometers an hour, which is exactly what we will be doing. Speaking of ATB, let's have a look at that system. What it does is very unique to the Dutch railway system, but it is a very, very good, very good system indeed. As everybody's waiting here at the rail crossing for our beautiful Sprinter to come by. So the ATB, which has a nicely complex name, is basically the automatic train enforcer, so to speak. So basically what it does is it's a safety system, as you can tell, governed by the speed of our train. And what it does is it monitors and enforces limits. There is a series of magnets on the track, and as the train runs over that, the ATB system will interpret the speed it goes at, and it will give the signal to the train, and whether or not it's going too fast or not, it will then give the appropriate signal to slow down. And you've got multiple different ways of seeing that. As you know, we can see it right here, ATB on the main screen. We've got 6, 8, 130, and our green mark, which signals 140 kilometers an hour. For us, let's give it a little bit more power to get up to 140. That will change, as you've seen before, going from yellow all the way down to the various different speed limits that the ATB system is doing at that point. We've also got some audible chimes, which you've heard, the various different trings, rings, etc. So if it's a continuous one, that means it wants more braking, which you heard earlier as well. And when you get the triple tring, that means that it's satisfied with the speed you're going at, and you can ease off the brakes to monitor it. So there's a couple of different types. You've got the first gen ATB and the NG. So it depends on the type of track really that you're on, and whether or not it enforces stop signals. That's the main difference really as we go along. As you can see there, another part of it is that we have to acknowledge it every now and then, make sure that we are still alive, part of the dead man switch as well. And that is basically the ATB system in a nutshell. Of course, if we're going too fast, we don't brake, we don't do anything. The ATB system intervenes and it will bring the train to a halt as a measure of safety. We are on our way then. We just left Hogeveen. Next station will be Bijlen, platform 2 in 9.5 kilometers. It is the 1st of May 1870, and like most other stations on this line, the railway station is opened in Bijlen, which is what we're approaching now, in 1.5 kilometers. Not much to say again about this train station. Had a 2-year closure between 1938 and 1940, and in the year of 1970, in the 1970s, they got rid of their main train station building, leaving only really platforms, a small hut, there. That's all that's left. It is a bit in the middle of nowhere. It is a very beautiful town itself, however. The oldest building being the church, the rest of the town largely destroyed by a fire in the 1820s, which means that most of Beilen is reasonably modern. A couple of very big companies around as well. Got a major milk powder factory, of all things, very random in the middle of nowhere here. And then we've got the supermarket chain Jumbo, one of the biggest supermarket chains in the Netherlands, has a big distribution centre here in Beilen. And then the health services also has a psych ward. So all in all, a very unique town here, but apparently very fantastic for hiking, cycling, very much hiking, cycling, forests, fields, and all sorts of other lovely outdoor activities if the weather was a little bit better than this grey, murky day. This, everyone, is station of Beilen, and we will come to a lovely stop right here. Very industrial, as you can see, not much left of any sort of buildings. There we go. Bring it to a halt, and off we go. Very unique sort of setup. We've got the high-speed rail on the right-hand side there, and then we've got a single track there down the middle. And then you have to cross yourself, as you can see right here on the other side. If you can see it, not really. People go down the ramp and they cross on over. Very beautiful surroundings of the station, if you ignore the the giant factory over there. We're all very small, very tiny, middle of nowhere. We love it. We'll lock the doors. ATB has given us the go ahead as well. We are good to go. The brakes are released, power is given, and off we go. So we've had a look at the signals. You've seen them around here a little bit. Dutch signals are light-based, as most countries are. On the right-hand side of the track here, or they can sometimes be overhead. Pretty standard, straightforward, really. The green means proceed, the yellow is the caution, and the red is, of course, do not proceed, blocked. Depends on whether or not, sometimes ATB depends on the type of train, the type of ATB you're running. Some of them will enforce the signals. You've got a few shunting signals as well. White and red lights in the yards, but we won't see them here today either. Now, the Dutch railway system as an entity and as it works, sort of, you can categorize into three separate entities, as it were. We've got the NS, the Dutch Railways, which is the operator. The trains that we are driving today are NS trains. They run most of the passenger trains and a few freight trains as well. Much like Network Rail in the UK, you've got ProRail in the Netherlands, which owns the actual tracks that these trains run on, and they manage and maintain the rail infrastructure there as well. And then the third sort of category is the regional local operators. You do have a few, mainly Arriva, Keolis, Blaunet, Qbus. We've got a couple of them around on a couple of very small regional lines. Now, the tracks themselves, like we said, they're reasonably simple actually. Most of these are dual tracks all over the country, with the right track going up north, the other track going down south. Quite different to the UK is the fact that one half of the station is usually designated for, let's say, northerly running trains, and the other side for the southerly running trains. They very much keep the right and the left separated there, unlike the UK, where normally the north-south trains will share a platform, or east or west, or whichever place you go to. Level crossings are in place. We've seen a couple of them. We saw the pedestrian one there at station of Beilen, and of course we've seen a couple of road ones as well as we made our way through the country at a couple of these train stations. Most level crossings in the Netherlands now, here comes one actually, have got the full infrastructure there. We can see with the guards and everything in place, loud signals and red lights. There's very few unmanned rail crossings, level crossings in the Netherlands as well. A couple of single tracks do still exist around the country, Mainly, I believe there's a route just north of the city of Utrecht in the middle of the Netherlands, which eventually becomes a single track, and the route to Zandvoort, I believe, becomes a single track at some point, or at least it used to. And all of that handles the nearly 1.3 million people every day that use this train system throughout this country. The next train station is a bit of a bigger station, famous station, and that is Assen, which will be there in 10 kilometers. Alright everyone, we are now approaching the train station at Assen. We just had our yellow caution signal and a impending slowdown to 80 kilometers an hour coming up. There's the other sign, ATB will kick in, slowly but surely. There she goes. We'll keep it slowing down ever so slightly. Assen station, quite a popular, famous station there. All the signals are going off at the same time, 80 kilometers an hour as we roll into this station. Assen itself, famous of course for the TT race, the circuit. Very, very nice indeed. Station was first opened, like many others on this route, 1870, mainly the 1st of May, just like the others. Got a little bit of an upgrade though in the year of 2020, if it wants to load in. Well, this is a beautiful train station of Assen, as you can see. I was going to talk about its beautiful wooden roof, but it doesn't seem to quite exist. Well, that is quite unique. Ah, there it is. It has decided to live. Welcome everyone to Assen. Yeah, like I was saying, a beautiful roof been erected in 2020, and there is even more on the line here for Assen station in terms of improvements. There we can see the beautiful roof hanging over the railway. Stunning. Assen, loads of canals in the city itself, and the plan is to connect up these canals into a harbour quarter around the train station here, tying the whole city together. The station, even though there's going to be a lot of works around the station, is meant to stay open. The Dutch are fantastic at doing stuff like that. We've come to a halt. We'll open up the left-hand doors. Welcome to Assen. We can have a good look at this brand new roof. Looks very nice indeed. Yeah, the train station is meant to stay open the whole way round. There's a fantastic Not Just Bikes video over there on YouTube of how the Dutch have managed to do that with a previous station. Completely changed the whole station, every single aspect of it, but keep it open for service. We'll link to that video down in the description below. Passengers have boarded. It is time to lock the doors and head our way to the northern capital of the Netherlands, Groningen. Off we trot. 21 kilometers. Next stop will be Haren, which will be right before Groningen Europa Park, and then Groningen itself. As we go through all of this beautiful greenery just outside of Haren, just outside of the Groningen area, I want to touch on the Green Rails initiative, really, that the Dutch Railways have. They are one of the most sustainable rail operators that there is. It's quite interesting, actually, on how they do it. It ties in well with the Netherlands as a whole, as a country, very green country, of course. So the Netherlands runs their trains, the NS trains, on wind power, which in the Netherlands itself there's an abundance of wind, very flat. There are many trees up here, but if you go towards the coastal regions, the trees become less, the fields become many, and wind is an abundance there. So as of 2017, every single train runs on wind power, as does the SNG, as does the next train, the ICMm that we'll be looking at. Every single one of them runs on it. There is the big depot for the NS trains, just outside of Haren here. We're starting to slow down slowly but surely. As you can see, the ATB system has been engaged, telling us to slow down. We are approaching the station of Haren, and it will tell us to slow down even more in a moment. We'll start doing it a little bit early, just so that we don't come in with a million miles an hour. Haren Station, of course, just like many others, as we've covered, 1870s, was opened in a similar spot. Was then closed again in 1936 because it was felt that it was a little bit too far away from the local village. However, as the cities and the villages around Groningen expanded eventually in 1968 on the 29th of September, this current station was opened up, and that's where we are pulling into right now. Located just south of the city of Groningen, right upon the edge, close to the airport, in fact, actually. This is Haren Station. Not too much to say about the town itself either. It got really famous a couple of years ago. 13 years ago now in that time, actually. That's gone a little bit quick right there. But yeah, accidentally someone posted their birthday party on Facebook. And Facebook reasonably new at the time. Especially in the Netherlands, it was growing in popularity. 5,000 people turned up to their birthday parties, resulting in riots, chaos, drama, and all sorts. Overall, a nice day. Why not? 5,000 people at your birthday party? Hey ho. 1968, like I said, this train station opened. This is Haren Station. Bang on time, we are ready to go. Let's close the doors. 2 more stops to go on our journey up north towards Groningen. The stops will come into quick succession now. Next stop will be Groningen Europa Park. Reasonably new station is Groningen Europa Park. It connects on to the Euroborg, which is the main football stadium up in the north there, up for FC Groningen, the local football club. Opened up in the year 2007. It's one of the newest stations that you can find on the Dutch railway network, and you will see that the architecture is very modern indeed. It was updated again in the year 2012, operated by 2 operators actually. Arriva have got a service there as well. We covered that earlier. They do some of the local train services in the region, so they have got they pass through that beautiful station. We can see the big buildings on the right hand side, which definitely means that we have arrived in the city of Groningen. We'll start slowing down our train slowly but surely. Get rid of our little warning there as we approach Groningen Europa Park station. Yeah, we can definitely see the roads are bigger, the buildings are bigger. We are no longer in the countryside. Still very green around here though. We'll have a look at this beautiful new station right on the outskirts of the centre of the city. After that is the main station, of course, which will be our terminating point for this train. This is Groningen Europa Park. Brand new. We can see it by the designs here of the awnings on the platforms here to keep everyone dry when it does rain indeed. We'll bring it to a stop. Ease off on the braking here a little bit for the last bit. Keep it comfortable. And welcome to Groningen Europa Park. We'll let the people off. It's very quiet here. We will pass through this station with our intercity in a few moments as we change trains in Groningen, which is just a little bit further up ahead. We'll shut the doors. That is our departure time. Off towards the last stop with this Sprinter SNG. What a brilliant train to drive. She is absolutely stunning. Next stop, Groningen Central Station. We'll give it a little bit of power there. In 1.4 kilometers just on the way, it is the main station of the city of Groningen and also the terminus station on this railway. We will just let ATB do its thing. There we go. Because it wants it down to 40. It's happy with 40 now. There we go. Groningen, like I said, terminus station opened up in 1865. The very first station building was at the very beginning of this line. Most other stations, as you've noticed on the way, opened up in the 1870s. And then when they were all connected to each other, that opened up this railway line that we have just had the pleasure of going through. First station building that was built was then demolished again in 1894, and a brand new building was erected in its place 2 years later, and then restored in the year 2000s, and currently undergoing a major refurbishment and update is the station of Groningen. That's at the time of recording, of course. Often named one of the most beautiful railway stations in all of the Netherlands on any of the lines. It's where multiple train lines come together, notably from the direction of Friesland to Leeuwarden. A couple of the local lines as well headed towards the coast. Got a couple of terminating platforms, 9 platforms in total. A couple of terminating ones and a couple of run-through platforms as well. There it is. We're going to make a few little hops. We will let it coast in to the railway station, and then we will pick up our intercity train, which is there on the side, ready for us to go. That intercity train should be going all the way to The Hague, I believe, is the actual line. Some of them do go via Amsterdam. Loads of different options from Groningen. It's very well connected. It's just extremely far away. Platform 6B is our arrival. We can see the beautiful station building there on the right hand side. And we can see the construction cranes erect actually for this station under refurbishment. That was the Sprinter SNG train for the first part of the Zwolle to Groningen line in this fantastic DLC in Train Sim World. We'll bring it to a stop. Maximum braking. Left-hand doors are unlocked. Welcome to Groningen. Please don't get on. And we will get on this 3-cab train there on our left-hand side. Let's shut her down because we are nearly ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll lower the pantograph, we'll close up the circuit breaker, and we will lock the doors behind us. Nobody can get on. Train lighting can go off. We'll switch the reversers to normal. We'll take the master key with us, and we will leave our beautiful SNG train behind. Off to the next platform. And there she is, the beautiful ICMm train, also known as Koploper, that we will be taking back to Zwolle. We'll head on in, and then we will explore this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful train. As you can tell, a little bit less modern than the Sprinter train that we just had. Let's get started. The train to Den Haag Centraal, The Hague. It's a very, very long route indeed. Scheduled to depart in about 20 minutes from now, so we can have a good explore. We'll get the train set up, get the train ready to go, and then we will have a look around. Getting the train ready to go is pretty simple. Again, similar to the other one, we got the dead man switch and the ATB that we need to switch on. We'll sit up here into the seat, and then the master key goes into our train. That will liven it up. Select our mode to parking. We can let's switch on the train heating. We'll switch on the compressor. Train voltage, please, and the EP brakes. Here's the circuit breakers. Raise the pantograph. We can get rid of the brake lock as well. Separate brakes on this one. Just make sure that it is. There we go. It is nicely engaged at the same time. The lights go on, and the center lights as well. We are ready to go. We'll switch on the gauge lights. We don't really need that, and the train lights can go on as well. We don't need a cab light today. Let's go have a look at this train. And welcome everyone to the ICMm, which stands for the Intercity Material Modernized. This is the modernized version, even though it is still an old train, as we can see from the seats. This is second class. This is also second class. All here. We should have a first class on board at some point. Again, the digital display signs that we saw earlier on the Sprinter, they've been installed on this train here as well. They will update shortly when we get the train up and running completely. Bicycle parking here for those that need it. You can get on and off here as well. Such old trains, I do love it. They have so much character and more space here as well, again, for bicycles. and extra seating. We had our way into first class. Very nice seating indeed, a lot more there as well. And you've got some silent seating here by the looks of it as well. You can all sit next to each other and just be silent and awkward, which is my kind of jam. I quite like that. Let's have a look. This is second class again, and then we should be nearly at the front of the train, which will mirror the other side here as well. 3 carriages in total, not too big of a train. It'll probably get connected up to another one as it gets closer to the higher populated areas. Second class here, and then more bicycle storage down here. They've got priority, in fact. And then here is the other end of the train, taking us to The Hague Central. And there she is, the train to The Hague Central, 1449. It is time to go. Let's shut the doors. And it's time to take this ICMm train back down to where we started. Doors are closed, everything is locked, reverser is forward. Brakes are released. And we are on the way. There we go. It's going to move on. Very slowly but surely requires. It's a big, heavy train. It's less speedy than the other train that we just had. And we leave Groningen. 40 kilometers an hour is the limit. We can hear it's got a lot more bassy tone as well. It just feels heavy. It feels big. Only 3 cars today on this train. They usually come in variants of 3 or 4 cars, and then quite often in rush hour they are doubled. Saw a couple of them drive as we made our sprint away up north. You're very close here, as you can see, to the overhead wires, which for sure makes a very unique kind of view. I'm going to be passing through all the stations that we went through, of course, on the way up, but now at high speed. Only place we'll call at is Zwolle, which of course is a major town, so therefore that dignifies a stop. Bing, there we go. We've got ADB system in here as well, telling us it's up to 60 kilometers an hour. Works slightly different, as you can see. All the gauges are analog here, not none of that beautiful shiny modern screen stuff. Just classic old-fashioned dials, the way we like it. Speed is shown in the middle on that sort of tape. The further right it moves, the faster we're going. And then the ADB system shows at the top there the lights currently saying 60, now 80. And we will speed up to go to that speed. Deadman switch as well. Here the ADB requiring us to acknowledge it every now and then. We'll let it coast here through Groningen Europa Park station. You see, it is quite close. You are so much higher up. It is a really different perspective there indeed. Now this intercity goes all the way to The Hague. It's pretty common in the Netherlands that you switch drivers throughout the day, so we'll be calling at many more stations after we relieve it of its duty at Zwolle station, which is where we will be getting off. So quick info about this train. Like we mentioned, the ICMm, it's the intercity material modernized. Touched on that a little bit earlier. Nickname is the Koploper, and that is it literally translates to front runner, to a reference to its speed, but also because of the hump that's on the top. It's got a little weird head, of course, which causes us to sit so high up and means we can see everything. Now the old Koplopers had a unique feature up the front, which we can show off. There you could see right here the sort of doors almost. The idea was that it would be a completely walk-through train and that those doors opened. They were on operation for a little bit, but no longer do they have it. So it will be 2 completely separate train sets if 2 are connected to each other. And we can go up to 130. We'll give it the full beans and off we go. We've got a schedule to maintain today. First delivered, the ICM in 1977, made in Talbot in Germany. Top speed, just like the Sprinter, is capable of going 160, which we can see on the dials there as well. Dutch Railways, of course, only allowing 140 on the conventional tracks. We come around the corner and the ADB system will shortly start calling on us again. There she is, asking us to slow down, which is exactly what we're doing as we approach the station in Asse, platform 1. We are back here again with its beautiful brand new roof. Lovely little city. Slowing down to 80 kilometers an hour. We got a couple of sharp turns coming up. We can see loads of detail here. The scenery is actually phenomenal, and the ICMm train runs a little bit better on performance than the Sprinter for some reason. The Sprinter is just a little bit stuttery every now and then as it struggles to load in some stuff when driving that, but the ICM, no issues there at all. We come around the corner, we can see the buildings are definitely building up here. Beautiful city. Performance is way better with this train. Way better. It's almost just because it's more spread out, less digital details, a lot more analog. Right, we'll coast it in. We will get rid of all the throttle. We are 3 cars, so we don't actually need that much of the platform. We need to make sure that we keep an eye on where we need to park. I need to switch off the guidance, actually. I only realised that after I started recording that it was switched on. And I'm running on a little bit of a time crunch with videos at the moment. So we are trying to make it work. But for the next train sim video, that will be switched off. There it is, the beautiful wooden roof again in Asse station. We'll let it coast for the last little bits, 20 kilometers an hour. The bus is there, ready to pick up our passengers, those that do not need to go to Zwolle or Den Haag Centraal. God, these signs there overhead are so close. It's amazing, isn't it? Right, we'll come to a halt here at the 4 stopper. That's the closest one that we will get to a stop. Right-hand doors are unlocked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is station Asse. They are open. The camera is doing a little bit of weird things, but we can admire the beautiful look of the ICM train. There we go, as we get interrupted by the dead man switch. We're nice and early. The intercity trains do often have slightly longer stops, bigger trains, of course. Multiple different types of trains. Like you said, this is the ICM. You've also got the VIRM, which is a double-decker train, which is very famous. If you think about Dutch trains, you usually think about this one and the VIRM. Very nice trains indeed. Hopefully, Dovetail will or Spoorlijn will come with more add-ons. We can hear the Sprinter coming in. That beautiful Sprinter that we were driving earlier. It's a double Sprinter, this one actually. Long train. We are sort of in the middle of rush hour here at 3 p.m. This train will obviously be doing the return route to Groningen later on with a bigger train. For now, only 3 carriages here in Asse. We will get the right-hand doors locked. Wait for the signal that we are good to go. And there she is. ATB is telling us we can go as well. Off we go. Next stop will be Zwolle, platform number 3. As it builds up the traction, here we go. We go up to 80 kilometers an hour. Give it the full beans. Old train, so it takes a little while. There we go. Oh, that stunning thumping noise that this train has. Absolutely amazing. 63 kilometers. So yeah, we'll be passing through all of the various different stations we passed through earlier, just at high speed. There is one of the level crossings that we talked about earlier. In fact, you can see it in action with all the barriers and stuff in place. Right up to 140, so we will allow it to accelerate up to 140. And it's going to take us about 35 minutes to head to Zwolle station. And there's the ATB saying the same thing. We'll start slowing down our train here for this short segment. Not too long to go now, 15 minutes until we're back in Zwolle, about 23 kilometers. Just got this slow piece of track coming up. Just waiting for the ATB to say it's all clear, and then we can release the brakes. And there it is. All clear. We will maintain 80 kilometers an hour as we go through the steep turns here in and around the station. So that's a very nice little underpass. This is what I mean, like when you slow down you actually see so many good things. We'll just slow down a little bit more, go a little bit fast. There we go. A very powerful train once it actually gets up to speed. It's a bit slow to get off the line, but once it is off the line, it is quick. Merging onto the lines here, yes, this is where the Leeuwarden line joins our route as well, which what we covered on the way up. And here we go. Through the station we go. It looks like there's an intercity there waiting as well. And there's the ATB saying it's fine to go 120. We'll give him a little wave. Hello, Mr. Intercity. Short intercity as well. And here we go through the station. Beautiful old station building. You can see so much more with this train. It's fantastic. Up we go, and shortly we will have 140 kilometers available once again as we traverse our way through. 100 we go. We'll get the brakes slowly running here. There we go, as the ATB system will shortly kick in as well. Going down to 100, we're approaching Zwolle station, back where it all started. What an incredible DLC this is for Train Simulator. Literally one of the absolute best. It is so well made. It is accurate. It feels like you're driving a train in the Netherlands. The sounds are just incredible of both trains, really. They work really well. I don't know why the Sprinter had a little bit of an issue with the stutters. That's purely recording, because it doesn't do that on a normal day. We'll coast here into Zwolle platform 3. We'll hand the train over to the next driver, who will take it all the way to The Hague and to the coast there. It is just so much fun to drive both the intercity trains as well as the Sprinter. They are just really phenomenal pieces of equipment. A testament to Dutch engineering, and boy howdy have the developers of this done it justice. It is really well done, and I can't compliment it any more than that. It is one of the best add-ons for sure. There's probably little details here and there that, you know, the real train drivers among us will know and recognize, but for an aficionado, someone who does it as a hobby, who enjoys this, it is just so much fun to drive, and it's just great. It's so well made. I really hope that they do more Dutch add-ons, Dutch DLCs for this awesome game. Yes, we will get it slowed down as we pull into Zwolle here. It would be incredible to see the extension of this line, and it would be incredible if it's like a puzzle piece almost, where maybe once a year or whatever we get a Dutch route, and then that will continue on, because there's so many incredible routes in the Netherlands. It's such a unique country to drive trains in. Such a unique country, like even the countryside around this route. You'd think, you know, flat country, it's not very interesting, but wow, it for sure is interesting. The detail work, the amount of effort is just phenomenal. Pulling into Zwolle platform 3 here, lovely station. We covered it at the very beginning, and there our train driver will be ready. For now, comment down below what you thought about Zwolle. The link is down below in the description as well for the Steam link if you would like to buy this amazing DLC. Please don't forget to like this video. It really does help with the engagement, get more people onto our channel, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. We'll open up the doors, and there she is. Welcome to Zwolle station. I thank you all so much for watching. Have a very pleasant continuation of your day, and goodbye.